Let's find out what to expect from Mr. Trump's big speech tomorrow with some insights from an industry insider. Joining me now, founder and CEO of Solum Global. You've seen him before here on The Briefing, Kirk St. John's. Kirk, welcome back to The Briefing, sir.
Thanks, Ed. It's great to be back.
What do you want to hear from the former president? We talked last time you were here about how he's more friendly to the crypto industry. What do you think about him actually going to Nashville as the guy who's been leading in the polls and dominating the battleground states and saying, I want to talk to, beyond you and I, a lot of young people who are into crypto?
Right. Well, it's a political year. It's an election year. Trump is savvy. He knows that there's a lot of, young entrepreneurs. There's a lot of young investors that really appreciate the opportunities that all things crypto and blockchain afford us. So, on one level, it would be stupid for him not to acknowledge that and address that. So we recognize that as an idea. But what we would love to see is an administration that accepts the fact that, blockchain technologies, cryptocurrencies are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. The free market will weed out, those technologies or service providers or companies that don't do the right thing. Unfortunately, along the way, some people may get hurt with the scam coins and all that kind of stuff. But what we need is an environment where business can work with government. I mean, it's a decentralized universe in crypto. There's a lot of people that would like to be free. But particularly like from our angle at Solum Global, a decentralized and digital network, we need some guidance from the government so we know where the playground is. So the ideal thing would be for Trump or whatever administration, but we're talking Trump now, to come in and get the people in the room and pass some laws that make this the country where crypto is the best or would have the best opportunity to grow. So that's what I'm looking for.
Absolutely, growth. All right, we want to be fair. We'll hear what your thoughts on Kamala Harris in a moment. I got that soundbite. Here's RFK Jr. earlier in Nashville. Listen.
On day one as president, I will also sign an executive order directing the IRS to treat Bitcoin as an eligible asset for 1031 exchange into real property.
So what do you think about that? Because I've only heard previously about 1031 exchanges being if you're renting a house out in California, you want to sell it and defer the taxes. You then buy another house in, say, Florida, and then you defer those taxes. He's now saying he wants to use crypto as property.
Right. So, I think the key word in that sentence was asset, right? And yet everybody calls Bitcoin a currency. So even though it's a great step in the right direction, I think, RFK's got a really good sense of the blockchain technology, which is, the kind of the foundation upon which crypto runs. I even heard him say that he thought the entire federal budget should be put on the blockchain so everybody could see it because it's an open source immutable ledger. And I thought that was great.
That's a great idea. But you know what, Kirk, pardon me. I think there's a lot of people in Washington who do not want to put it on the blockchain. You and I both know. So let me, in the last minute we have, you announced today the launch of what you're calling a multifunctional Bitcoin payment card. I think this is really important. Tell people where they can find it. But what I want to ask is, how would this work? Because that's something that I have a hard time getting my head around. And I think a lot of our viewers do when they hear all these terms flying around about crypto. Can I get a card where I can actually pay for goods and services like a Visa card or MasterCard?
Yeah, it's actually a card that runs on the MasterCard network. You can get in and out of crypto and use crypto as a form of payment. And, this is where we would differentiate between the word asset and currency. So Solum Global has decided to launch that here. We're a U.S. corporation, but it's a global payment service and, transaction provision. And so if people want to hear about that and understand what we're doing at Solum, they can go to solum.global, and we'd love to hear from them and open up a dialogue.
There we go. That's what we're all about here, a dialogue. We'll have you back soon to see how the former president does Saturday and whether or not Kamala Harris is going to have some new ideas as well, because Biden-Harris so far hasn't been that positive on crypto. Kirk, we appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Ed. Look forward to seeing you again.